there's a star, there's a light. We got to shine, it's we who have to make things go right. Don't sit and wait on a hand. Sometimes that hand does push you down. To achieve your goals, you must go for it. Every monarch wears his own crown. Conquer every obstacle you encounter. Many will be waiting to see you fall. But if you have to find something new, you must follow every clue. So at the end of the road, when you find your treasure, prosperity true and true, we got to fight on and take full command of our future plan. Go and crack on, we back won't take we out this situation. Fight on.
Man is laughing. I don't understand what it is. I don't understand. Anyhow, you're alone laughing. 20 people grumbling and things sucking the teeth. Augustine Ferdinand is in the chair. We're on the air for another Wednesday. Right up in here on your Star Sound. How you live, SVG, Eastern Caribbean World. Let me make sure we live and thing. Let me check it. Oh, we live ready? Okay, all right, good. Yeah. Oh, that's why you trying to hold back these skin and grin. Come on, man. Yeah.
People saying out for that.
Ah, boy, I tell you. At least we could laugh a little bit.
Yes. Well, they say sometimes in tough circumstances, you know,
yeah,
all you sometimes laugh too. As a coping mechanism.
It's true.
You know?
It's true. That was our thing yesterday. We were saying, boy, you know, in spite of the thing, you have to at least try and force. Yes, that is true. That is true. Wall Strain, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Wall Strain. Keep on pushing forward. That's what we got to do. Big ups to everybody from civil servants to, you know, all servants of the public in all strata. You understand? Here for another Street Beat episode. Yeah, big ups to Van Man and them. You know, I know things.
Boy, the Van Man crying right now.
Scratching your head right now. You understand? And you could see it by the frequency of public service vehicles on the road. You know, the man had to time the thing now. They had to go with timing. As a matter of fact, like your typical prospect van ain't gonna be doing prospect trips for the whole day. He looking to turn around as fast.
Yes.
So he might reach up by you. You understand? At particular time that you want to move, which would be the situation in my case. You understand? So he looking to make a little turn back in Annesville, where he know he could get, as we say, a quote unquote chassis. And I'm sure the same happens on the leeward side. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. But
the grind.
It's a Wednesday evening here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and as usual, we have our Street Beat program today. We want to big up all who are heading to home, those who are coming from the farm, and those of you who are already at home relaxing, taking in the sun, and those of you, of course, abroad in the diaspora in the US of A, United Kingdom, across the continent of Europe, and to our viewers online via Star Radio page on Facebook. As usual, it's an interactive program, and the numbers to call and get interactive with us is 451-7827. That's the landline number, and you can also WhatsApp us. Yes, we take WhatsApp calls and messages via the 534-7827 number. That's 534-7827. That's the WhatsApp number. So it's another evening all. Tomorrow is Parliament.
I tell you.
There are some interesting bills that will be laid before Parliament. We'll slightly go into that a bit.
All eyes on us.
Yep. And all today marks the second year since Hurricane Beryl affected St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And lives were also lost, other than, of course, damage to homes and the economy. But lives were lost, and we sympathize with the families of those who haven't, seen the loved ones who missed. And I know, even at this current point, as much as the government then, the Unity Labour Party government, repaired and significantly over 5,000 homes. There was some more persons who were waiting home reconstruction and repair. And we, of course, purchased the prefab homes for that purpose. And I know as we speak, there are persons, especially in the Southern Grenadines, who are wondering what is happening.
Well, I see price tag on them. I see I see sticker price.
Persons are wondering what is happening. I heard that the current government has launched a new recovery. That is actually the name of it now. A new recovery and resilience project that will be launched by Prime Minister Friday. I don't know really and truly what that is about. I mean, there's already a recovery process and a policy that is set. He said that it will help us to prepare better for any storms during the hurricane season, and we will hear about it very soon. Sounds like word salad to me, but hey.
I suppose to hold me breath then. I suppose. Wait with bated breath, that kind of way.
So wait out for that. A new recovery and resilience project. But it marks the second year, and it is unfortunate, Earl, having seen the various price tags. The lowest I've seen is $118,000 on those prefabricated homes, which you can now get at HLDC Housing and Land Development Corporation.
Which were never, the intention was never for them to be sold in the first place.
The intention was never for them to be sold, but for the purposes of reconstruction of homes and for families affected by Hurricane Beryl. But as I always say, different parties in governments do things differently, and I've even said this when I used to host Shake Up program, where there are certain things government have to do and there are many things government don't have to do. And government set their own agenda and priority and policy, agenda. So not because Unity Labour Party did it means that the new government will do it or should in many cases do it, because they have their own different priorities.
Yeah.
And
there's no specific obligation. I think that's where you really want to. Yeah, there's no obligation.
Precisely.
Because let's face it, the ULP government was the only government that really in the Caribbean that ever undertook such a Herculean task and humanitarian task as to, rebuild lives at that level.
Exactly.
Jamaica, for instance, their thing is totally different. When the government of Jamaica gives you a house, that is only your house until Father God call your number.
Yes.
You understand? Yep. When you pass on, it's not like you pass on the title and property to a loved one or anything. That is the government own.
Yes.
Until you're dead.
Yep.
So
I want to say greetings to Terry in Kano, and Terry says the new government is now going to work with Mr. Ace, work along with Mr. Wace to continue rebuilding in the Grenadines. This is indeed good for persons in need, and I agree that is good indeed. Public-private sector partnership at work, because I know persons are asking, well, what is actually happening? Homes to be built and other things to be done, and they haven't seen any action whatsoever. So that is good. That is good, Terry. Thanks for telling us that. But like I said, and as you said, Earl, obligations. So we cannot be surprised that the NDP is now putting a price tag to these prefab homes. We can't be surprised. As a matter of fact, the Minister of Finance was also the Prime Minister. When he stood in Parliament, and they were also discussing the National Development Bank, and Senator James on the opposition rightly highlighted that inside of the statement he made, he said part of the bank will be to deal with reconstruction of homes. That is true. So that is the
Remember
priority.
a certain man did say at time we not in the house building business.
Yes.
Yeah, he said we.
You know,
man say we could do back walls and thing. Like you could live in a back wall.
And the second thing to support this to Earl and those of you listening, you have to sort of rationalize, well, or if you're asking the question, well, why is the government now looking to put a price tag on these homes that were to be constructed and assembled for persons without any cost, given that they were affected by burial? This goes to my second point. The Prime Minister said that there are certain statutory entities that aren't making money. HLDC is one of them. Yeah? So, if you want HLDC to make money,
slap the price in your tail.
You know.
Ah, boy.
Yes. So that is the other
remember
part.
all they vote for that? Yeah, remember 14-1, yeah? Now they keep trying to throw in people's face. You understand?
So,
that is essentially
I am not going to sit down
what
here.
we're dealing with.
I'm not going to sit down here and, I will criticize them for that move, yes, but I'm not going to take a whip and kind of beat them for it, because that is the policy they set. And as you rightly said, Earl, and I can't call name, was Mr. Lickok, who once said that the NDP is not in
the house building business.
Business. They not believe in competing because they saw it as competing with the private sector. So it's not that people didn't know. People knew, and people chose the NDP to govern. And they
didn't choose wisely, but they chose otherwise.
And they are now, in government, and therefore they set the policy. So if the policy of the current government is allowed, HLDC needs to make money. As much as these prefab homes came to St. Vincent to help people to rebuild without any cost attached, my government not going to that, because HLDC needs money. And the second thing is, of course, there will be in development bank where persons, no matter whether you could get collateral or whatever, or even if you're employed, but you could go to the bank, the National Development Bank that they are proposing to get a loan or mortgage, whatever, that sort of thing. And that is a policy. Of course, I believe that is wrong, because these are people who are in need. And
the arrangements...
how I will put it, you don't try to make profit off of someone's pain.
Exactly. Which essentially is what they're doing. The arrangements that were made with civil servants and so on with regards to the homes that were constructed and things, does anything change?
In terms of the low-income homes? No.
Okay.
No.
That would have been
thankfully.
That would have been a question I know would have been floating around.
What I do know that is happening still, though, remember that there were some lands distributed.
Right. And that's another thing up in the air still.
And
where they say they ain't taking money and all this kind of nonsense. Yeah.
And it is high time that persons who were given offer these lands, that they be allowed to pay for them.
Exactly.
Because again, land is wealth.
Just holding people at ransom in limbo. You understand?
Land is wealth, and I think it is high time that the government, because they said they need to what? They need to review the list and scrutinize and all of that.
The amount of lists they're reviewing, lotto lists.
It is now
and so on. Poor people under pressure.
6 going into 7 months. I think it is high time.
Wait a minute.
That the government come and report to the nation what they found in terms of these lands.
I want to figure anything about that tomorrow.
And please, let the people pay for the land. Because the people who are offered these lands, they're not rich people.
That's the thing.
They are the average man and woman.
Salt of the earth people.
In the country. And like I said, land is wealth. Land is wealth. And these persons deserve to go and pay down on the land. there are persons who actually have started paying down on the land and they stop them from continuing payment. That is heartless. And it is already 6 going into 7 months. A review should already be done. You can't tell me you're taking a whole year. As a matter of fact, from what I do know, is that there's a time frame, actually, especially for those who haven't started paying yet. Is that if you ain't start pay, and almost a year passed. That is it.
Somebody zooming in on the question. You understand that I was alluded to, asking, will 100% mortgages be available at the NDP's New Development Bank for civil servants?
Well, the thing is, I don't think that necessarily need to happen, because you already have an existing arrangement with Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, for example, that affords that. And I know because of what Bank of St. Vincent and NCB started, many credit unions also catch on to that as well. So I'm not really too worried in that instance. As a matter of fact, because these financial institutions realize that that is a lucrative market, you have a lot of offers at good interest rate for purchasing of land and also building of homes. So I'm not really too worried about that. My worry right now are persons who were offered lands by the government of St. Vincent and Grenadines and up to now aren't given the opportunity to continue pay for those lands or to pay down on the land. And that is heartless. I don't think any right-thinking Vincentian would think deep down within themselves, no matter whatever partisan color, that the state should prevent persons, especially in this case, the ordinary man and woman in the country, from paying down on the land. These are not politicians who are offered lands.
Right.
These are not elites or rich people offered lands. These are the ordinary man and woman in our country who have children, you know. And like I said, land is wealth. And it is high time now, almost 7 months. You say you're gonna review this. Well, please, it's almost 7 months. Give the nation a report and let the people pay down on the land, because land is wealth. Earl, today's program, I just wanted to touch on that, given, burial and everything. Like I said, Parliament is tomorrow. And a wide range of bills. They have an amendment to Audit Act. You have teachers' pension bill. You also have a bill on amendment with the FSA. But there's one which focuses on a loan, OFID. There's a loan from OFID, which is looking to get, the government is looking to get $20 million. And I find it interesting, that the government said they're not going to borrow any money. But Parliament tomorrow, you're going to hear that the government is looking, again, the government is borrowing $20 million. Now, obviously, in the broad scheme of things, you got to borrow. You got to borrow. We still have a lot of things to do in the country. And it's at good interest rate. But there are two controversial bills that are on the other paper, which the government of St. Vincent and Grenadines promised the people that these bills, before they are brought back to the House, more or less, or debated, that they will go to the public for consultation. And I'm talking about the Citizenship Amendment Bill.
Yeah. Trying to sneak it in again.
Well, the Constitution Amendment Bill on section on citizenship, and also amendment to the Representation of Peoples Act, which also deals with qualification of persons to be nominated. And therefore, having said, the Prime Minister of the country, having said to the people, I guess I left it in the vehicle, but in the wrapping up, coming to the wrapping up, he said that the bills will not be debated at a given time because of the importance of it.
That was Imam Agay.
Therefore, there will be need for consultation with the people. Well, that last sitting was April 24th. Yeah? That last sitting where that was said, what, April 21st. I don't know if maybe I missed it.
You understand?
Or
The only discussion surrounding the issue happened on this side of the equation. It certainly didn't happen on that side.
so I would like someone to tell me whether from April 21st to now, there has been any sort of consultation by the government with the people, whether a town hall meeting or any other kind of meeting, on these two proposed amendments. Because they can't tell me that the Prime Minister of the country stood up in Parliament, as not just in Parliament, even outside in an interview, and said that these two bills must be ventilated in public with consultation before they are brought in Parliament to be debated.
Do we have that soundbite with the I think it's a Grenadian journalist? Where is she from?
Right, Lestra. So,
Where should we have that?
clearly, I need someone to tell me whether such consultations took place. Because it will therefore mean that it's another situation where you can't take the Prime Minister at his word. I mean, there have been many hiccups even before Dr. Godwin Friday became Prime Minister to show that his words mean very little. This is the second year, like I said, since Hurricane Beryl. The current Prime Minister, who was the opposition leader then, promised students in the Grenadines $100,000. In $100,000. I thought that on the second anniversary, which is now, I want to hear the government, in commemoration, well, not commemoration, but in recognizing this tragedy. That is a check of $100,000. If you tell me, okay, you were in opposition, you couldn't do it, well, now in government.
I tell you.
Am I far-fetched? I mean, this is how I think. Like, okay, this is an occasion. Second year, persons are still experiencing pain and suffering.
Of course.
This is a good time to deliver on that promise, not so? $100,000, what you said. I really, I hope persons don't think I'm unreasonable in how I think there. I think this is a good occasion to deliver on that promise. But another opportunity missed.
You promised the people of Cuba too, not true?
Yeah, well, I understand the money ain't go off yet.
I tell you.
But easier to deliver on that. The Prime Minister promised public servants double bubble. The Prime Minister promised public servants concession on vehicles. The Prime Minister promised the nation reduction of VAT. The Prime Minister promised Vincent Shan's expansion of zero-rated items on the VAT. The Prime Minister even recently said, well, for the next 3 months, we won't see an increase in fuel costs.
Well, I was just gonna say that.
So when I start off on the premise that the Prime Minister's words mean very little.
Facts.
And I show you the examples as to why I can say that. Then I am not surprised that the Prime Minister is now again trying to do something that is recurring, going against his own words, and having these two bills, which he said should go before the public for consultation, and trying to sneak them in Parliament during the heart of Carnival. You hear me? During the heart of Carnival. When you're thinking,
It's like he thought people would have been so distracted.
Culture. We have to be dealing with these two controversial bills. That takes away from enjoyment of culture.
He figured that people would have been so distracted. You understand that he could have, again, try and sneak another one by. But the thing is, the atmosphere is so dead that there's no hype. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody is still focused on their own lives. You understand? So the microscope, the telescope, any kind of scope is still on the situation at hand.
Yep.
Yeah. So you can't sneak this one by if that was what you were thinking. That ain't gonna happen.
I followed politics across the region and the world. I have never met a politician that is so blatant with the lies and deception. So blatant. I mean,
well, he's a chip off the old block.
I mean, Trump.
He's a chip off the old block.
Trump. Say what you want. Eh?
It's the same Sankey, same handbook.
Trump is a bluffer.
You understand?
And as bad as Trump is,
a yellow jacket is a yellow jacket, and just how it is. You understand? It's the same philosophy from the fisherman days into these days.
Friday is even worse than Trump. With the deception. But these two bills, we must sound our voices and say no, consultation must happen. No to them. The consultations must happen. Because I will tell you this. These bills, as suggested by Jomo Thomas, as suggested by the very journalists from Grenada, Calistro, as suggested by many other persons, are self-serving.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
as my brethren say here, this is another Nancy story again.
The interesting thing about it, these two bills are brought by the Prime Minister himself, who is party to a case on the very matter.
That's right.
Can you imagine that?
There's a word for that. It's called corruption.
Well, yeah. I won't really say corruption.
If you're doing something,
I won't allude it.
If you're doing something to circumvent an act, you understand what I'm saying? By attempting to adjust the constitution of a country for your own selfish gains. This doesn't affect anybody else other than you. You understand? That's what it is.
But it's self-serving, and he shouldn't even have brought it before Parliament. A matter is already before the court, and the court has the authority to pass judgment based on the facts and the law and the peculiar issues raised. And
the thing about it is, it's not that he's trying to adjust the constitution, is that he's trying to do it and make it retroactive.
And
that is what is dangerous.
And the retroactive part of it, meaning, for those who may not understand the term retroactive, is that the government want to bring these two bills and pass them, making them retroactive, meaning that once passed, the laws of St. Vincent and Grenadines, including the change to it, will have effect as if it was always the law since 1979.
That is ludicrous.
Yeah? And what they are proposing is to say that no Commonwealth citizen, I will repeat again, listen to me very carefully, that no Commonwealth citizen should be seen or deemed as a foreigner.
Isn't that just ludicrous?
You want me to repeat myself again?
Isn't that ludicrous?
There's a case before the court challenging the qualification of Dr. Friday and Mr. Fitzbramble as to whether they were qualified to be nominated as candidates because of their Canadian citizenship. It's not challenging the results of the elections, you know. Oh no, because I hear some posters go on and on about that, thinking it's challenging the results of the elections or it want to use the code to change the government. Oh no, not at all. This matter has been challenged even before the elections.
Yeah.
So I just want to make that point very, very clear.
And the thing about it is, right, that it's not like it's in an effort to bring down the government.
No.
That's not what this is all about.
No.
You understand? But you would need to right an historic wrong.
Yes.
That's what this is all about.
Precisely. And therefore,
so the government ain't gonna change.
Or should
maybe
change.
maybe the baton. Well, obviously the baton will be passed. You understand?
But that is the reality. That matter is before the court, and the court will decide based on the facts and the law whether indeed both Dr. Friday and Mr. Bramble were deemed to be disqualified to be nominated, and they will make the judgment, and that will have effect. Now, what the government is now doing, given this matter is before the court, is to say that no citizen from any Commonwealth country, whether it may be Nigeria, whether it may be New Zealand, whether it may be Canada, yes, Australia, that citizens from no Commonwealth country, and there's over 50-something Commonwealth countries, that no citizens from these countries, and that these countries themselves should not be seen as foreign, and that it should have effect in our constitution dating all the way back to 1979.
That is the thing.
It's not saying that it should have effect from now here on.
Exactly.
It should have effect as if that was the law since 1979. Now, who really and truly, reasonably thinking, rationally speaking, think this is right? Let me put it another way. It's like saying, Earl, and those of you listening, that the age of consent is 15. But because a friend or family of a parliamentarian engage in, statutory rape, so you're looking at 14, maybe 13. And therefore, because of that, the parliamentarian comes with a bill to amend the law to have a retroactive effect to say that 14 years or 13 years is the age of consent,
exactly,
predating when the act happened.
That is the question. How far? So when does it end? When does it end? What else wouldn't you be looking to amend?
Now this brings me to the other point.
You understand? What else wouldn't you be looking to amend for your own selfish interest?
This brings me to the other point. All right. And this is where the danger also lies. Because there's a saying that once you open
Pandora's box.
You better be prepared for what comes out of it.
Exactly.
Now, if you have the government now trying to set a precedent, this will be a precedent, you know?
Exactly.
First time.
That's right. And I'm surprised that you're not
where you are looking to change the constitution on how you define a foreign country.
Yeah.
And if you are willing to take this route and it is allowed, it therefore means that you have no excuse whatsoever in the future if any other government
precisely
does the same thing.
I'm surprised
and especially even worse, for their own selfish gain.
I'm surprised that CARICOM is not focused on this particular case. You understand? Because we might be an island, we might be an island nation, but I'm surprised that we're not hearing more of a conversation happening, with CARICOM kind of zooming in on this and examining the possibilities. But I'm sure they are looking.
Oh yes, many are looking.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Now I've heard the argument, and it's true, that the function of Parliament is to make and change laws. Yes, that is true. That is true. However, a matter that is before the court should not be changed or influenced by any external act. And
that is the dangerous
road that the Parliament is looking to go down, the government is looking to use the Parliament, no doubt,
to circumvent,
have influence on a live matter before the court. So
that's why we say, where will it end?
So again, I put it to you, the people listening. If you allow the government to go down this road, again for their own selfish purpose, on a matter that is before the court, which should be decided by the court, where will it end? What stops any other government from going down the same road? And it could be anything else. Will you then say, oh, it shouldn't happen? It's already come out the box. The door is already open. They can't shut it.
Everything could be retroactive now.
And this is the danger of having a government thinking that they can do anything that they feel like.
That they could manipulate.
And manipulate the Parliament. And use it as their playground. For their own purpose. Because reality, as a matter of fact, the purpose of Parliament, really and truly, is to look out for your interests.
Precisely.
To make and change laws in the interest not of Godwin Friday or Ralph Gonsalves or Carlos James or Sinclair Leacock, in the interest of citizens of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Collectively.
You hear? So when you have a government that is now looking, because two members on their side is before the court, and it's quite possible later on down they may think that the judgment would go against them, that they try to use the Parliament to circumvent all of that. It's dangerous. We've been here before, under a former NDP administration. Pension and gratuity, MPs and
the greedy bill. Don't forget the greedy bill. But a lot of
the greedy bill.
Most young people wouldn't know about the details of that. They would have heard the expression.
We were there before, where Parliament was being used for, again, personal benefit and selfish interests.
You know, Audrey makes the point that most young people don't, well, people, not just young people, most people don't understand, and some just don't care.
Well,
that's unfortunate.
Well, they better care. Because like I said, from the time you open the box, you better be prepared for what will come out. Because what will prevent or stop any future government from taking that same approach?
Thing is, they're looking to secure their ends, you know, they don't care about you. You understand? They're looking to secure their selfish gains.
That is the point.
They don't care about you.
That is the point.
You understand?
So we have to care. And we have to let it be known. As a matter of fact, these bills should be withdrawn from the other paper. Because you said that there will be no debate whatsoever until you consult the people, and as far as I know, and no one hasn't called or commented or sent any message on WhatsApp to let me know that there has been any consultation between April 21st to now on these two bills. And I know what some persons also like to say, because I do listen, I do read. They will say, oh, hello, under Labour, what sort of consultation used to happen? Let me remind persons this. When we sought to change our constitution, and boy, life is so funny, because I see some persons are calling for some things that were actually in the proposed constitution of 2009, like Office of an Ombudsman, Integrity Commission.
Yep.
I see some persons saying, well, the police force should not be called police force, it should be called police service.
Yes.
Check again, all those things were in the proposed constitution.
Something you just mentioned there.
Of 2009.
Let's say we had voted for change and so on, and you know, things had still gone south down the road. The role of the Integrity Commission, you understand, would have been dealing with the same thing if that was what they were looking to bring forward.
You know.
So you know, that whole thing was preemptive. Yeah.
So, and what we did, we had widespread education. As a matter of fact, the person who was spearheading the constitutional change was someone who served under the then NDP as Attorney General. Mr. Panel Campbell of blessed memory. He was the chair.
Yep.
And there were widespread education and awareness across the country on the various sections of the proposed constitution. Widespread. And of course, the people rejected it nonetheless. Needed 66% threshold.
I'm going to be frank. The message didn't get home to people.
That I also heard.
Yeah, the message didn't get home to people. The timing was...
There are many things.
Yeah.
One, what you said, there are some persons looking in hindsight said, well, you should have done it instead of whole meal package. You should have done it piecemeal,
right.
and that sort of thing. Though, I would say this. Grenada tried that. Boy, the Caribbean is such a strange place.
Remember you had to cater for the masses.
And I will tell you this, even when it was done piecemeal.
Look at Barbados. Barbados
is different.
Exactly.
But even when Grenada did it piecemeal, Grenadians rejected every single proposal.
Right.
You hear me? Barbados did it because their constitution is different. And therefore, because of the majority, they didn't need any 2/3 from the public.
Right, yes.
So they could have done it in Parliament and
so it was easier.
As a matter of fact, they didn't even change the constitution fully. What they did was certain provisions like just the president from Governor General to president and make a republic.
Yeah.
But that is that. But coming back to the point I was making, we had consultations with the people.
Yeah.
There's another matter where legally it came up. Medicinal cannabis. Again, we had wide consultations with the people, including traditional ganja farmers. Because I know how some people start to go and say, well, under Labour Party, what consultations used to happen. Even for medical cannabis bill, you had consultations with the people. But on this important matter, a controversial matter, a matter where you are redefining what should be deemed as a foreign state and foreign person, you're trying to sneak it back in again during Carnival.
Yep.
Because again, I will remind people,
Under the cover of mass,
what
as they say,
these amendments are saying is that no Commonwealth country should be seen as a foreign nation.
Which is just
That
ludicrous.
Nigeria should not be seen as a foreign state. That Australia should not be seen as a foreign state. That New Zealand should not be seen as a foreign state. That Canada should not be seen as a foreign state. That is what it's saying.
All that just to give yourself cover.
All that
You understand?
just because the Prime Minister of this country and the Foreign Minister, two senior members of cabinet, are Canadian citizens. And some persons want to close the eye and pretend that it's not self-solving.
Put on blinders. Like a racehorse going on the track.
Some persons want to close their eyes and pretend. And you know, the funny thing about it is that the current Prime Minister said, man, this case is frivolous. It's a waste of my time.
I tell you.
And the Prime Minister have better things to do.
I tell you.
Well, hello, if it's frivolous, why go down this road?
You understand?
Let the court decide. If it's frivolous, let the court decide.
See people chop it.
Because frivolous means, boss, the court going to watch this case and say, man, chill outside. They ain't going nowhere. But I guess deep down in your heart and in your mind, it's not frivolous. So, the other option, sneak it in. And they're hoping that you, the people out there,
Wait they really check it
will
out,
not
you
make
know.
a fuss.
They easy, though. Remember they tried to sneak it in, how much was it? 6 days before?
Yeah, well, that was also,
They easy, though. They tried to sneak that thing in 6 days before, right?
It's so disgusting.
It is.
Because
and now you come and try and sneak it back in the middle of Carnival because you figure people would have been distracted.
You could imagine that, folks.
That is dastardly.
6 days before Parliament, they were trying to sneak this.
Wait a minute. Where they really saw some of this
and
thing?
I will tell you this. If not for the opposition, the public wouldn't even know.
That is the thing.
You could imagine.
It was the
let me tell you how
vigilance.
bad it is. And this is why, again, it's important that you have an opposition in Parliament, because imagine if it was 15-0.
I tell you.
No bill going to any opposition.
Of course not.
The people, all the people
would
would
hear
have
about it after.
All the people would have heard the day. Is the amendment? They would have first say about the amendment, and it passed right
Yes,
through all stages.
I mean, you would have heard Alpha and cussing after. But that would have been it.
But the very day is when they would have heard about it.
Yeah.
You can imagine that? The very day. 6 days. And it is the opposition. I remember the Monday, the opposition leader came before the nation via a press conference to let you know. API didn't put anything out. Order paper didn't go out. Prime Minister didn't alert the nation.
I tell you.
Nothing. It is the opposition that had to come and let you, the people, know. And even after the promised consultation, the Prime Minister still hold not one single
You understand?
meeting or
No rebuttal.
consultation.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's only when the journalists jam him. You understand what I'm saying? Outside of the Parliament.
And this.
Yeah. That he make some kind of,
This government is ridiculous. This government is ridiculous.
Yeah, brother. They wish the opposition would just evaporate.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Why you think the Minister of Education lash out so? You think the Minister of Education, where he was in the United Kingdom, waking up
3 o'clock in the morning.
after 3 minutes to 4 in the morning, venting and cussing out Labour,
I tell you.
cussing out the opposition leader, and cussing party supporters because of nothing?
I tell
It's
you,
because
boy.
they are so frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
They are frustrated, you know.
Can I get a
The
sneaking thing
government is
past me?
frustrated. And that was after National Council too. I guess in their mind, boy, it's 14-1, so the National Council meeting they had it, nobody going really go to that. But then when they realize...
Brethren, I believe they really thought they were going to have an easier time, you know. You understand what I said?
Yeah.
They really thought in their heads that, you know, yeah, this would have been an easy walkthrough.
Uh-huh.
You understand? Eventually, Ralph will get fed up and so on, and they would have been trampling. Not so.
That is why he woke up that early morning, venting and cussing.
But again, I remind persons of the danger if we allow the government to get its way with these two bills. For me and for you, they should be withdrawn from the other paper. And a consultation need to happen throughout the country on these bills.
Exactly.
Think about it. Would you want later down the road another government to pass, to amend, to change and pass a law and make it retroactive as if that was the law since 1979? Would you? On any issue whatsoever? Would you? We have an opportunity now to put a stop to that before that lid is opened.
It's like the nastiness what Donald Trump was trying.
With pardons.
You understand?
I mean,
Yeah, it's like the nastiness Donald Trump was trying. It equates
Yep.
along the same line.
yes.
You understand?
Peas are the same pod.
Yeah.
So it's very important that we tell the government, withdraw these bills, consult the people. But like I said, it shows that the Prime Minister lacks credibility because of so many examples where he has gone against his words. And the most recent one is on the changes to the price of fuel.
Don't talk about that.
The Prime Minister of this country last month, I think was the 27th of May, made an appearance to the nation with his ministers flanking him as part of the clapping audience,
Trump style.
and said to you, the people of this country, that we are going to make an intervention to subsidize the cost of fuel. And that the subsidy will remain in place for the next 3 months. And he even said that it will be one of the lowest fuel price in the region.
I tell you.
Only lo and behold, not only the price increased by $3.70,
35% increase, sir. I did the maths. 35% increase.
but now, a month after, not 3 months, you know, not 2 months, you know, a month after, they increase it again. As a matter of fact, you know what is even so funny about it? The Prime Minister said at the time that this will prevent consumers from paying $18 and change for gasoline at the pump. Check the pump now. It's not $18 and change.
You get it in the tail. 35% increase. 35. Play 35 for 3 days later.
Check the pump now. It's $18 and change
I tell you,
for
boy.
gasoline.
Welcome to St. Vincent and
$17
Grenadines.
and change for diesel. After the Prime Minister said that in 3 months you will not see the price increase on fuel. Now, how on earth?
The cap can't fit.
Cap blow off. Government ordered a cap from
Wait a
Timo.
minute. Yeah, that's a Timo cap.
Weak.
Made in China.
Cap couldn't hold the pressure, the price down.
Mother
Blow
what?
off.
What a cap.
And you know, the Lord of mercy, you know, even with the price increase a month after, you know, the Prime Minister hasn't said a word.
I tell you.
Not even
Shame.
a statement.
Shame.
Not even a short statement. Huh?
Or should I say not an ounce of shame?
Jeez,
Whichever
man.
one.
It shows how, Lord have mercy, 1 month ago you tell the nation that this price will remain for the next 3 months. You ain't going to see no increase. And a month after the price increase and you ain't say one word. You ain't like try to explain to the people.
Yeah, come with some kind of salve to, you know, that's not
Not even that, the people in work that Mr. Prime Minister,
Money had time
the
with all you.
exceptions don't work that.
Money had time with all you.
My Lord.
And that has been his attitude all along, you know. He has this aloof kind of, you know.
Over $5 increase.
I tell you.
40% increase. My Lord. And you ain't say one word to explain.
Don't inflate the thing. 35%. 35%. No, you understand.
If it's 35 point something percent, wrong law.
Point. Yeah, with 36 different 40, you know, man. Come on, man.
But
Mother
not a word.
I tell you. Yeah, because that don't affect 411 and 144 and all the rest. You understand? How much vehicles they got? 6?
Well, it's a G1 now. G1 is the
governor.
big one. I think that is the I think
that's his right?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
G1,
oh no, the governor would have the crown thing. Yeah, so
G1 is
he is G1.
yeah,
he's not part of the. He's not part of the common denominators.
Yeah, he's governor
he's
one
not,
man. Governor one. Yeah, governor man.
He's not part of the 411144.
He's the governor one. Yeah, man.
Wait a minute.
Governor one. Governor
tell
one.
you.
Governor one getting
6 brand new
Governor one getting you ride. And
6 brand new Prado in all this skin.
And governor living in rent.
Yeah, rental mansion.
I tell you, man.
In the Poconos there.
That's how we're doing it.
Wow. Yes. Government house too. Yeah. To pour down for
Prime
you.
Minister residence to
pour down.
For him, man.
Yeah, you can understand. Wait a minute. Anyhow, they vote for that.
Another lie. How much more lie we could take? How many more lies can you take? 5347827, that's the WhatsApp number. How many more lies? I see Avenel said don't hold your breath to hear anything from Freddie. Mark said imagine that for a minute and Eyewitness News on Hot 97 and others would have jumped on Ralph back.
Come on.
And let us say King Lady.
Come on.
My brethren Hepburn said that
if Ralph had buy one, if Ralph had buy one pickup truck,
you would have never heard the end of it.
I tell you.
You would have never heard the end of it.
It's just like remember when he had used his car? Remember when he had play bright and used his car? Because they more Mercedes Benz.
Yes.
You understand? The Benz was probably about a 5-6 year old car. You understand? They say, oh! You understand? If you hear them.
How many more lies can you take? Remember, this is a government that ran on a campaign about cost of living. Remember that?
Yes, that was the
that
whole,
was the mantra. As a matter of fact, the mantra was put money in your pocket. How your pocket feeling? I hear some people telling me this is a
well, his pocket fat, you understand?
Some people tell me this is a what the term they use it, boy, a broke pocket carnival.
But it's a fact.
How your pocket feeling? Feeling heavy, feeling light, feeling empty. How it feeling? The government said they want to put more money in your pocket.
A certain pan of mine, you know, take picture and thing and so on. Take a picture and put up with tongue some night there. You understand? If you see tongue. Yeah. You know when you're leading up to carnival
Yeah, you're
Tongue is bright.
tongue busy. Yeah.
Tongue is bright, man. You stay back and thing after work and so on. You go and buy the little watering hole and you hang out a little bit and so on. Or if it's some show, you know, down the road, you hang out and then you go down in the show. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, I hear park numbers been properly dismal. You understand? That's what I hear. Properly dismal numbers. Of course, the all inclusives. You know, they had their thing locked. You understand?
Well,
yeah.
I could tell you whose show was jam packed. Big up, Luke though.
Yeah, big up.
H2O.
Yeah, man.
H2O.
Water more than flour, boy.
Charlie say
Well, they say it wasn't much water.
Charlie say my pocket like it get hole. I go for Leander to get need lantern. But yeah, big up Luke. H2O had a large turnout. I mean, I saw some persons complaining.
The most cussing.
Complaining and cussing and thing about the price and thing.
I'm telling you.
You know, but hey,
it's
the man is a businessman.
And all you bright.
That is the price he set.
And all you wanted to go. And all you went.
You know.
And that was that.
But I guess the reason why plenty persons are complaining is not because of the actual price, because a lot of the items, if persons compare it to H2 of 2022, they're about adjusting for inflation, the prices ain't changed much. You hear me? The prices ain't changed much, in terms of the drinks and thing.
Yeah,
even tickets, as a matter of fact, tickets then was more expensive.
That's above my pay grade, I mean,
But I could tell you what changed though. You know what changed? You know what changed? Government change. And you know what else changed? Because the government changed, the economy changed.
I tell you.
So, what you might let fly by because things better, money circulating, it ain't really it look there, but you're gonna let it pass. You can't let it pass now because things brown. Things real brown. Things tight. And so now, any little effect in the price, you will complain. So I ain't blaming Luke.
Terry said PM must buy a presidential jet now. Don't put a pass him. Don't put a pass that fella, You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, don't put a pass he buy.
I ain't blaming Luke.
Yeah.
It's the economy. The government.
As the man say, he chest high. You understand what I'm saying? Don't put a pass him. You understand? Yeah.
That is what changed. That is what changed. But this is the new reality. This is the new reality. I am happy to hear that the government is going forward with plans which you already put in place in terms of Chateaubelair fisheries. I also realized that...
Could you imagine if Labour did nothing?
Well, that's another interesting question.
Could you imagine that? If Labour did nothing, what were they coming in to do? If all they're doing is continuing.
Because some people used to say, it's going into an election here while Labour doing all these things. Well, that's a very good question, Early. Imagine if the Unity Labour Party in an election year and even the year before did nothing. Because I tell you this.
Because nothing from nothing leave nothing, You understand?
What is actually happening now is a continuation of Labour projects. The road projects, infrastructure upgrades, is Labour. But I know this. As a matter of fact, even the loan that they're going to bring here, again, arrangements from Labour.
But, the last thing you really expected to hear from them
loan
was anything named loan.
Let me tell you.
The way they've been babysitting and carrying on, you understand? The last thing you expected to hear coming out of their mouth is the word loan.
Let me tell you, I am going to ask this question. When do you think that Vincentians will realize this government lacks serious credibility? I don't know what credibility means, that you can't trust them with the words that they say, or promises that they make, or pledges that they make. You just can't, because they're empty.
Facts.
And I repeat again and I give examples.
Dr. Friday, when in opposition, pledged $100,000 to students in Southern Grenadines because they were affected by Beryl. This is the second anniversary since Beryl impacted the country. I foolishly here thinking I hearing the government going to pass over a check. Or the Prime Minister himself.
I tell you.
Of $100,000. It's a good time to do it. Nothing. But the most blatant one is the fuel price increase. To come tell me last month that you intervening and providing subsidy that will prevent the price from increasing over the next 3 months.
Was he what he didn't know the meaning of again? I don't like to poke in the bear, but was he what again when he was in the interview?
The collateral?
Collateral. That is the one.
That is it.
Let me talk to Peter. He got on the phone.
All right.
Hey.
Greatest Peter.
Yes, Comrade.
Yeah, man.
I have one question for you.
Uh-huh.
If they go ahead and pass those bills,
Yes.
would it mean now that anybody can come in and purchase the land in St. Vincent?
No.
And if so, when the bidding war starts, what does Vincentians think they will end up with?
Well, that is interesting because I talk about alien landholding because Peter, as you would know, and the name is right there, alien landholding license, in that a foreigner can come but want to use land for a particular purpose, and you give them license to do so as an alien for a certain amount of time, and that I know generates a lot of revenue for the government. Now, if a Canadian, let's say this law pass, is now deemed not to be a foreigner, then going down the same question you ask. Circumvent alien landholding license application.
None of that. He just basically strolling in. Yeah.
I mean,
strolling in.
But here's the kicker. If it's retroactive, what happened to those people who are paid already? Would they need to be refunded?
Hey.
I mean, there are a lot of things.
Yeah? And I can tell you one thing. Aliens landholding license, not a mistake for Canadians and British people, is a lot more than what budget have there now.
I tell you.
So,
the ripple effects, the repercussions.
Repercussions. What about those people who paid for citizenship? Do you refund them?
If everything is not retroactive, exactly. Yeah.
You know, do you also remember that passengers used to pay a different fee if you were local or if you're foreign?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Departure tax?
Yep.
Do you refund those people if they ask? It is so much repercussions that I don't think anybody they really thought this through.
No,
anyhow, gentlemen, that's just something.
But this is the interesting part, Peter, because now this specifically deals, especially with qualification to be nominated and to sit in House of Parliament. You don't have to be a Vincentian.
Tell you. Once in the Commonwealth.
Anybody in the Commonwealth can do it. Once you do the prescribed time.
Yep.
It only, as it is now, as I read it, and I've continued to read it just to see if I'm getting it wrong, only if you are Vincentian and you swear allegiance to a different nation, then where does your allegiance lie? But if somebody is born over there already, they don't have to swear allegiance to anything.
Correct, because exactly, correct.
So, so that is how I read it. I might be wrong.
No, you're correct. So you have to swear allegiance. When a child is being born in Canada or elsewhere, the child cannot control the circumstances in which country that they were given birth. so they don't have to sway to anything.
Exactly.
You know, they were born there.
Well,
But
I will
when you swear, you do it on your own will and volition. A baby don't have the own will and volition.
Yeah, well, I will use myself as,
You know?
as an example. When I came to the UK and I got UK citizenship, I had to go and stand up and hold up my hand and say, I swear allegiance to king and country,
Yes.
or queen and country.
Yes.
Tell you.
So, you know, if I want to run, I got to give that up. That's how I say it. I have to give it up because I have sworn allegiance to somebody else. Something happened down there, I say, I'm a British citizen, you can't touch me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Tell you.
So, anyhow, this is going to cause us so much trouble. So much
That
trouble.
is the thing. The ripple effects of this selfish action.
For two men.
Yep.
You put in two men against 100, and you put in the peril of 100 and people in danger for two persons.
Yep.
Two.
Exactly.
Yep.
Anyhow,
Thank you.
that's
Thank
what
you,
they
my
vote
brother.
for. I keep telling them that's what they vote for.
I tell you, bro.
I know it's not. I shouldn't be going down that road, but sometimes you just have to sit back and see it go wrong.
It is what it is. You gotta call a spade a spade. It is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Yes,
gentlemen,
brother. Respect
have
and
a
love.
Good night.
All
Little
right.
man,
Easy.
remember the
Okay,
number.
then.
The number to call 534-7827. 534-7827. That's the WhatsApp number. You can call. You can send messages there. You can also comment in the comment section. I see Hepburn say, Ferdinand, let us not forget the level of hatred they have for Comrade and his family. It's causing a lot of Vincentians to turn a blind eye as to what is going on in SVG. Some are just set on voting against the Comrade, and that happens so they don't concern otherwise.
He has a point there.
Yeah.
He has a point there.
The thing is,
So they're hoping that the Ralph hatred
Yes.
would fuel support for their nonsense.
the thing is,
But Vincent just need to stop, sit down, analyze.
I'm gonna say this. Some posters may not like it. The thing is, if this bill is allowed to pass, the effects of it can outlast generations. Eh?
Exactly.
I'm just gonna say that.
That's right.
The
And that's the way
effects
I'm looking at it.
of it can outlast generations. You hear me? So,
Our
if you are focusing,
What I'm looking at too, brother, is our reputation. You understand
Yep.
that we've worked so hard to,
yep,
to get in order.
yep,
You understand? With all the blacklistings. All the blacklistings we had to fight so hard to get ourselves off of.
There's one part of this, Peter, and others. I haven't mentioned publicly, but I've taken some time to think on it. Now we all know that the NDP is still hell-bent on selling passports. And the idea of selling passport is basically selling citizenship to a foreigner.
Exactly.
What if this is
I'm glad we're on the same wavelength
Trying
on
to-
this.
kill two stones with one bird?
I tell you.
Kill two birds with one stone, sorry.
I see you thinking. That's good.
Hello? You may ask, well, for now, which road they're going down? I repeat, the NDP is still hell-bent on selling citizenship, Vincentian citizenship.
Keep your
This
eyes open.
change in the law
Keep your eyes open.
will have an effect retroactively since 1979 that no Commonwealth country should be seen as a foreign country. Now, does it mean or give effect that a Nigerian, for example, which actually, by the way, based on the stats across the region, they are frequent applicants for OECS passports. Does this mean that a Nigerian now not being deemed as a foreigner? Well, basically, under the law. Well, under the bill being proposed, can apply for a Vincentian passport?
If it's passed, there's nothing preventing them.
Think about that.
There's nothing preventing them after that.
Think about it.
It's like flinging open your gate. You know, like when you go to a show in park, you understand? And you put thing ram and then you have more people outside who want to go inside, come inside, but, you know, they really don't want to come inside and so on. So, you know, thing at a fevered pace. And then the gate bus.
So,
that's what we're talking about.
Hepburn, as much as some would still have venom and hatred for Dr. Ralph Gonsalves and turn a blind eye to this move, like I said, can outlast generations and have serious effect on our country.
You read the last comment? Father said them in the BVI, so they can't wait until NDP take back the country so they can go back home to work at SVG up to now. The party can't show them headway. You understand? To come back home. So they went home, they vote against Ralph. And basically leave the people home to suffer under this government. That's true. What a time. Oh, interesting.
Aneta said another murder to the 21 murders so far.
Oh, wow.
And
I didn't hear about that.
yes, I think I heard about it. It was out Moncton area.
Oh, wow.
And my condolences to the family and friends of all who mourning. And Aneta,
that's another thing we didn't even get to touch on.
Thank you for bringing this up as we are 5 minutes away from the end of the program. I want to say this here and now. The NDP ran on a campaign, other than cost of living, that they have the plan to solve. As a matter of fact, it was so foolish because how they put it across is that it's like no murder will happen.
Yeah.
They say we have the plan to solve crime, and look. But I will, as a reasonable person, basically have a plan to reduce crime. Put it that way. So far, we haven't seen any reduction. Earl, this is to tell you how inept this government is so far.
And that's putting it mildly.
And again, I always believe in being reasonable, being rational. The government has been in opposition for over 2 decades. You hear me? Over 2 decades. The NDP in opposition talked about all that is wrong about St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They talked about crime. They talked about corruption. They talked about the economy. They talked about need for reform. Now they're in government. What bills are you seeing come into Parliament? What bills are you seeing come into Parliament that gives you a sense that the current government is in a serious reform mode for the interests of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, for the betterment of St. Vincent and the Grenadines? You could name me one. That is major. They said everything that is wrong about the country in opposition. So far, outside of budget this year, this will be the second time Parliament is meeting.
Yeah.
Now, if there's so many things that was wrong with the law, with the institutions of government, won't Parliament be meeting frequently? Wouldn't we hear of bills that have wide-reaching positive impact nationally? instead of self-solving bills. You know, I saw on the NDPs when the 100 days in office, they had on one of their accomplishments as what? The establishment of a National Development Bank. Oh, they help me out here now. Where the established bank there? Huh? Where the established National Development Bank there? As a matter of fact, tomorrow, you know the resolution there on the other paper? Now you may be saying for none you're talking dotishness. No, check it out. Go on the Office of the Prime Minister page and you will see it is part of their 100-day achievements. But the resolution on the bank ain't even pass in the House.
You understand?
Much less to be established. Now tell me if this is a government that is serious. Tell me if this is a government that is serious. There's no bill for the reduction of VAT. There is nothing for increasing the number of items for zero-rated VAT. Nothing. There, as a matter of fact, the Minister of National Security ain't even bring any bill to whether strengthen existing provision, criminal code, or to increase sentences. Nothing. Remember they talk about crime? Nothing. You hear me? Nothing. This is now July. They talked about CBI so much. I even thought that by March they would have called Parliament and bring a bill to have CBI regulations and laws. Yeah, that is another funny thing, you know. You know, the Prime Minister said that the National Development Bank will be funded by the proceeds from selling passports. But the resolution for the bank is before Parliament.
You see the full circle thing there, brother? Well, you just mentioned it. You see that full circle thing there, brother? Keep your eye on them.
So, lack of credibility. They've been in opposition and had all to say about what is wrong in the country. But now in government, it's like they're clueless. They said they have plans. Well, what the plans there? The country is on a go slow. Parliament meeting now and then. This is the second parliament outside of budget for the year. To the extent when they adjourn in parliament, they don't even want to list a date for the next sitting of parliament, much less. Yeah? All that you see that is happening is basically what the Unity Labour Party left. But I know as time goes by, many persons' eyes will be opened.
People reach a stage of fed up. Yeah, people reach a stage
like
of
I
fed up.
said, this government lacks credibility. And I have many examples to show, and I will state them again. You pledge $100,000 for the students, that ain't happen. You pledge reduction of VAT, that ain't happen. He pledged to increase the number of items on zero-rated VAT list, that ain't happen. He promised to cap fuel surcharge. Check your VIN light bill. The cap working? Where the cap there? Check your VIN light bill. That ain't happen. He told us just a month ago that government intervention will prevent price increase on fuel for the next 3 months. Monday come, $18 and change, $17 and change at the pump. Again, another lie. And trust me, there's a thing about reading pattern. There's a pattern.
Lie day.
There's a pattern. You know what they call a pathological? What do you want to be pathological liar? There's a pattern. And I know at some point, even those of you who don't like Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, your eyes will be opened.
Yep.
But again,
21 murders is a lot. It would be good if it's 0. But this is the nature of life and living. I really and truly hope that for the rest of this carnival season, that it be crime-free. Please be responsible.
That's right. Well, boy,
be responsible.
Already, we heard some matter seriously, heavily, forcefully, finding out who, you understand, was responsible for that and deal with that. Rest a heavy hand on that because we don't want to encourage them kind of what listeners do. You understand? And our young women, please be careful as you go through these days going into the carnival season. Be careful what you're consuming. Be careful how you're liming.
What you
who
drink.
you're liming with. Exactly.
What you drink.
Exactly. It's better that you see something opened in front of you.
Yes.
You understand? Before you consume it.
Yep. So, Earl, I want to thank you.
Yeah, brother.
For your technical assistance and input on the program today. Parliament is tomorrow morning.
Yeah, all eyes.
All eyes.
All ears.
Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I wish everyone a safe and enjoyable carnival. The prevention of crime is not only with the government, but we the people also have a part to play in preventing crime. We have a part to play. So with that, enjoy yourself, be safe, watch your drink. If anything, have a designated driver, have an emergency contact, and enjoy Vinci Mass 2026.
Absolutely.
My Highland Town salute